good evening, and thank you for joining me tonight here in the Mingles of Evo Life again. I want to talk today. We're talking today about where spirituality and science meet. And today, guys, I wanted to let you know that my internet is not going well. Okay, so if the video pauses, perhaps I'll have to restart, okay? Again, I hope not. In the Spanish version, at the beginning, it started giving me problems, and then it all got well and good again, okay? So let's start speaking about this subject that so many people, in fact, all people, every single person has these types of questions, these types of confusions. And I want to start saying that where spirituality and science meet, and my presentation tonight, my speech tonight, is gonna be always, as I tell you, geared from my personal experience and the things that I have lived, and what I have learned after my spiritual experiences began to happen back in the 2017, okay? And for those that don't know specifically what was that happened to me, you can go to my YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, Evo Life 360, and under the community tab, you're gonna see the interview that Jeff Mara did when he interviewed me, and I explained how it started, at least how it started, because not the whole thing is there, okay? But let me tell you, it is the reason why I decided to do this, because once I started waking up to all these truths, I could clearly see how confused I was about many things in my life, my personal life, and how things had happened for me. And because I received a lot of benefit from that specific experience of today, and it has not stopped, I decided, and I felt I had to share this with all of you and with a lot of other people, so that many others can benefit from what I have benefited from, okay? So immensely. So in gratitude for that, and because I know this is my path, is that I come here and I've been building this community of Evo Life. So having said that, I'm going to start by saying that, as we know, religion and science forever have been like bickering and always have been seen as opposites, right? Opposite ends of a spectrum. And I say that they've been unaware all this time. They were speaking of the same thing, but in a different state or form of being, okay? More than anything, I believe it has been a matter of perception on both parts. As with many things, right? If not all of mankind's dilemmas, right? Perception is so important. How we perceive and believe things to be or should be, and how our individual environments greatly influence these perceptions and beliefs. This is why it is so important to see and understand how we all are impacted by perception in our personal lives, and how difficult it is for us humans to approach life and be truly objective and mutable, instead of subjective and fixed. Reason why we need to pay close attention, I'm always saying this, right, to what and how we believe things. Very close. attention to that. The root cause of the opposition between religion and science stems back to the very beginning. You know this, right? Very beginning. And the subject of the creation and how everything started. These points of view for these two, science and religion, are very contradicting, right? On one side, religion poses a superhuman figure for the creation, while on the other side, science places it on the Big Bang and the formation of quantum particles, the atom and matter, right? Matter. So, what I've found about these two, and after living my experiences, and after studying and informing myself, researching, right, is that they are quite the opposite of opposites. In that they are truths, there are truths on both approaches, and that there are more reasons why to unite these two on a common ground than to separate them. Obviously, this is if we get them both to collaborate and open up to a macro perspective, which is starting to emerge in the great awakening that we're undergoing right now. So this suggested union of these two is why I chose, the reason why I chose our Evo Life 360 slogan. You may or may not know, but if you look at my banner, right, it says the spiritual science of highest well-being. So I merged both. And in this understanding or awakening that I personally had after my spiritual experiences, XTs, NDs, OBs, well, this is what I could clearly, without a doubt, understand. And that's why I'm here sharing it with you guys, okay? So let's see, why do I say science and spirituality meet? Where do I say they meet? Well, the common grounds between spirituality and science is, as you may hear me obviously talk about all the time, none other than energy. Energy. That universal glue that bonds and holds everything together. Why do I say this, right? Why do I say that energy is that? Well, it's the common grounds between science and spirituality. On one side, we're going to analyze now both sides, okay? On one side, we have religion, right? That believes that rather than we've been wrong in religion. And let me start by saying and clarifying that I don't mean to offend no one's beliefs. Okay, this is always based on my experience, and let me start by saying that I was brought up by missionaries, American missionaries, and so I understand religious to the T. Okay, religious aspects to a T. But it wasn't until I lived my spiritual awakening and my personal experiences that I became aware that the way that I had my perception had been influenced greatly, and my beliefs, for me not to see clearly what the message truly was behind, okay? And one of the things that happens when we are unawakened is that we believe in a physical superhuman, right? That's what religion is based on, and has based its beliefs, right? And we're starting to see that that superhuman that we've called God or believe, right? Many of us, you may call it however your personal religion calls it. Okay, I myself, I call it God because that's how I was brought up to. Okay, is the total force and intelligence, or the sum of all existing energy. It is the universal material that encompasses everything and everywhere in the existence, okay? In existence. So it's not a matter of a superhuman in itself, right? Which we, religion, because religion was not created by God. Religion was created by humans. And we've believed all this time that God is a he, right? We put pronouns, and we especially when we're little and we're learning that. That's what happened to me, right? When we're little, if we're talking about a man, right, and these superhuman powers that he has, well, the baby, the infant doesn't have the capacity to understand, to truly understand these concepts. And obviously, when we're talking about Jesus, then we add that to the equation. Well, all this gets very confusing, right? And we start to believe and create this superhuman figure, okay? And that's where we've been wrong. Exactly where we've been wrong, because in my awakening I could see clearly that this was not right. I had been wrong, okay? So I say that energy is the common grounds because it is the fabric and the glue that holds everything together, and not a person, like I've said, like many have made him to be. Most certainly it is intelligent, it is omniscient, it is powerful, right? But it's because it is the fabric that makes us up, and everything that is in the universe. That is why God is everywhere. That is why He, and I'm using the pronouns He, or it is, all knowing, right? All powerful, omniscient, everywhere, because it is the material that everything is made out of. And this fabric, as we know, is intelligent and holds everything, glues everything together in the universe. It has intelligence, it has knowledge in itself. Okay? In our way of searching for that connection, right, with the divine, we've also created a perception and belief that this superhuman figure was something that was separated from us. And we've invested obviously we know we've invested a lot, and still to today insist in searching for that connection to the divine outside of ourselves, when truly this is the divine material which we, as I said, are made out of, that makes us up. So we're not separated, truly. We never have been separated. And it has put the divine in a place, in in a place like in unreachable, right? In an unreachable and outside of us, when truly this is why everything we need is within us already. We are made of it. We are made of that divine material. Reason why, like Jesus, who was a superhuman, we also are and are sons and daughters of God. Okay? Because he, like us, was made of the same material we are, that God-like material. Okay? We are all divine fractals of light, vibrational frequency waves, rays, or threads of that which we've called God. Each one needed in the composition of this infinite totality intelligent force. Each one of us has a purpose within that totality. And if each one of us, our souls, did not exist, God would not be what he is. Okay? So each one of us is needed, and vice versa. We would not be here if that divine material would not exist. We are fractals of it, part of it. We were never meant to feel or believe that we are separated. That was not the purpose. That was not the message of Jesus, neither of God. Because its very nature doesn't allow, very nature of this material, this divine material energy, doesn't allow it to be in this way. It cannot be separated, because the nature of energy, which is ruled by law, universal law, states that energy cannot be separated, cannot be divided. It's like air, that you cannot cut it. Okay? So, it's impossible. Energy is indivisible, just like air, as I said. This separateness in which we have perceived and believed the divine and life, right? Because we separate everything. We humans separate everything. Races, we separate everything. We're always separating instead of uniting. We believe with the separateness in which we have perceived and believed the divine, life, and the universe to be is not. Okay? So separateness cannot be possible. Although we certainly are manifested in different bodies, energy, our energetic bodies are always connected to that huge internet, if you want to call it, infinite universal force, always. And by that, that also is united to us. So we are always one. That's why it's called universe. We cannot divide energy. Impossible. So, this divine is the intelligent force that encompasses or makes up everything, including you and me, you and me. So, on the other hand, when we look at science specifically, we've always known that science has been perceived or associated many times with atheistic concepts and beliefs, which is another failed perception, because thinking that scientists don't believe in the existence of spiritual aspects like a divine intelligence, the soul, and the eternal life, right, is quite contradicting to the fundamental and well-established laws of science. because we know, like the law of thermodynamics, by that law, energy cannot be destroyed. So if we are made of it, which is what science has told us, right? Always told us and always believed that everything, all matter is made out of atoms. Okay? And if science has said that they cannot be destroyed, then what happens with the energy that we are? If we are atoms, if we are energy, what happens to that energy if energy cannot be destroyed? So it is quite contradicting that science doesn't believe in the existence of a soul or of an eternal life because of the same thing that they say we are does not permit us to be destroyed, to not exist, okay? So I say there is nothing more spiritual and mystical, esoteric, occult than energy and its quantum particles that, by the way, as always I've said here, cannot be seen to the naked eye, right? Cannot see that. We only get to see what it finishes up manifesting, right? It creates, it bonds together by law, it bonds together, these atoms work and bond together to manifest something in the physical aspect. And they know how to get together and construct, because this divine material that we are is an intelligent bond. It is an intelligent glue, okay? So, creative, it creates. It is the creating force that holds everything, glues everything together. So I say there is nothing more spiritual because of this. So, for those people or scientists that refer to themselves as atheists, the only way for that to be is to believe that energy hasn't existed. Which, as we know, for scientists specifically, it is impossible to not believe that that energy has existed, that atoms are true, okay? Otherwise, it cannot be. So, for this reason, the concept of atheism truly does not exist. Because if you call yourself an atheist, the only way you can be an atheist is believing that energy, that this divine material, is not what composes the universe and ourselves and everything. Okay? So these two perceptions, the scientific and the scientific, fail to recognize energy as the common grounds, of both of their approaches, right? Because rather than, in the case of religion, right, religion hasn't let go of this superhuman perspective and understood that it's all about the intelligent force material and not about a person, right? And science hasn't recognized that energy is an intelligent life producer or form, okay? That atoms are alive and is what truly gives life. And if atoms, I say it, this is one of my quotes, if atoms did not vibrate constantly like they do, life would not exist. It is not because of our biology or because of our chemistry that we are. It is because of the fundamental particles, vibration, frequency, that movement, that kinesis, which cannot be destroyed. That is the life force of the universe. Everything has vibration. Because of that, life exists. And because of that, and because that cannot, as they said, scientists, I'm referring now, cannot be destroyed, we also cannot be destroyed. We do have an energetic body. We do have a soul. We do carry frequencies. We are frequencies, fractals of light that cannot be destroyed. Okay? This is an intelligent material. So, more than ever, we're being called to unite. To unite, right? More than separate. That's why we are called universe. 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 One verse. That's how we need to unite. Because all along, we were all speaking of the same thing. The same exact thing. And it is speaking about, right, more than ever, speaking about energy. That's why I stress so much in our need, that we should learn more. The language of the divine material, that everything, that encompasses everything, and the knowledge behind it. Because we're going to be able, through that, to see our divinity, how we were constructed, the importance and relevance for us to manifest, truly come together as a species and create the limitless things that we are capable of creating without auto-sabotaging ourselves and humanity. So, we are in that awakening, and this is a call. That's why I do this. This is a call for all of us to come together, because we can do this. We can learn of this divine material. We can learn of this knowledge that is so beneficial in our lives and for the life of our species, humanity. Okay? So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Please give it a like. And please share this information, as I always ask you to, so that many other people can benefit from it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us over there, where we're going to be doing a lot of more content. And as always, sending you love and light, hoping that this information has benefited you in a lot of ways. And please, if you have any questions, as I always say, please write to me. Send me those questions, and I love to answer them back, okay, for you. So love and light, and see you next week here in the Mingles of Evo Life. Bye-bye. Thank you.